Hey guys, how's everything going? What we are seeing here is we are in the middle of me and the emphasis, I guess, is the word on trying to uh, to add a N64 digital to my system. And if you watched the last stream I did, is that it was partially successful. So here's what basically happened. So if you watch that last stream, I got to the point where I tested it, and when I tested it, I was all excited because the good news was that the HDMI portion was awesome. It looked really good. It was working. Things are good. The part that I'm pointing to right here, the hard part, if you will, worked out perfect. Let me, while I'm sitting here getting ready, let me get my solder iron warmed up. So, unfortunately, the one thing that didn't work was, and again, pro streaming. This looks a little bit off. There we go. The thing that didn't work was that the controllers didn't work. And what wound up happening, I was like, well, what's going on there? So the controllers are generally picked up by these ones to what's called the pith. In fact, now that I see something, wait a minute. How to use this one? Sorry, I'm just doing something real quick. I think this is the 70. But let me do a real quick test or something. No, sorry, my bad. Yeah, that's the. So anyway, sorry, I was telling my story in here. So so probably I think I actually kept streaming for probably far too long, but so you probably stuff was going on while you weren't looking at anything, but I'll just set you right here for now. Is that what happened was that the controllers didn't work. And it was weird. It was like when I plugged it in, the first one I plugged in was in controller port 1, and I couldn't do anything. Then I tried plugging it in controller port 2, and remember, so the other thing is while you're testing this, you're kind of on a time limit, and you don't want to keep this going that long because the you don't have the heat sink on here, so it can get warm. So it's not designed to do that. So I was kind of just trying a couple things, and then turning it off. But oh, I noticed that it's an issue too. So what happened was that the controllers don't work. So I plugged it in one, tried it, and tried it with the cartridge. Nothing happened. And I tried it in two, and nothing happened. I'm sorry. Then I plugged it in two, and I could control it, but I couldn't bring up the on-screen display for the mod. Um, Anyway, I get it back here in there, and I think this is after I stopped. And maybe it's in there, or maybe it's not. I stopped it, and I realized, and what I'm going to do is after I do this, I'll do a closer inspection. But what I realized was that there was a tiny resistor right here that I must have knocked off when I put these two on, and that's where the controller work happens. So basically, I messed up, and it just happens. It's part of the nature of this being it is what it is. So what I did was I actually fast forward. I started fretting. I'm like, oh no, what did I do? I ruined it because that's actually the easy part. So the part that's the hard part is right here. Turned out perfect, but the easy part I messed up. I actually let me put a real sorry. I just realized I need to do another quick message. Uh, uh, uh. So anyway, we'll take a look at that. It basically, here's the long story short: is what I realized is that. So actually, no, let me finish telling the story. So came back here and I saw that this resistor was missing, and that's key because this is where it picks up the controller data, and essentially that's where everything happens. So the system wasn't seeing the controller were inputs, and that wasn't working. So I got it back in here, saw that resistor was missing, and started fretting. And then I was messing around, and I saw a tiny resistor sitting right here. It turns out that was that resistor that I knocked off, and I said, okay, I'm going to fix it. And I mean, these solder pads are so. I mean, they are so tiny. I am not used to working with something this small. But so anyway, I tried to put it on. I burned off the pad. So we'll take a look at all this stuff in the microscope after we pull it off. But anyway, what I realized was, hey, I got to get me a new solder flex. Nothing else is wrong. I think that the system's working great. There's something I noticed that's a bit of an issue. I think. Pull you out. But you're not in there properly. And that's fine. That's fine. So what I have to do? So I ordered a new flex, and I'll get it in the next couple of days. I ordered it kind of with a more priority shipping, but it's holiday season right now, so it might not come. It might be end of the week or something like that before I have it. So it's all fine. And I can replace it, so it's not like I did any permanent damage or anything. But what I have to do, and what I'm going to do today, is I'm going to trim off I'm going to not trim this off. I'm going to trim off these wires from the flex, and then the hard part is desolder here and make sure that and then pull the flex off of there, and then just have it fully off. So it is what it is. But I'm going to pull it, kind of throw some flux on there, pull that off, and then assuming I do that with no problems, we'll just go from there. so let me turn this on. So that's what I'm going to do this morning. It's just going to be real quick. It's going to be I mean, not real quick. It'll be relatively quick. Sort of thing where we just kind of pull this off and get it ready for the next step. So with that in mind, first thing I need to do is I need to pull you out. All right, looking at things a little bit closer. And when I do it next time, the other thing I've kind of realized, I'm planning on doing this not necessarily all at once. All right, because this solder joint doesn't look that great. Now, I remember this one causing me some issues. Yeah, there's like way too, let me pull some of that off. Actually, you know what I might do? So I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it with my braid that I just had here. There it is. I don't want to pull a ton off, but I do want to pull. Oh, very good. Is that what's going on? I see a solder ball. That's when they're good. Maybe I'll bump up the heat just a little bit. But if I'm bumping up the heat, I don't want to put it on there too long, so you could screw up solder pads that way. Just want to see if I can melt that solder better. I wonder if this is on like a plane or something that's not. Yeah, yep. Yep. I need it a little bit hotter. I'm going to turn it down though. Tweezers out a little bit because I think I got some braids stuck on there because I put. Perfect. Yeah, that's okay. All right. Put it in my solder cleaner, my tip cleaner, and put it back down to 350. All right. Now let's pull. So what I decided how I want to do this, because I've been thinking about this a little bit, is I want to. So I went on. Yeah, I see you there, Justin. I was giving the story of what's going on here, and we'll talk about this as I do this more. But I screwed this up, and I'll get it onto the microscope so you can see exactly what I did. It is ugly too, but it is what it is. But as I was saying, is I got to the testing phase, and the HDMI portion of this was awesome. It looked great. I was really happy with it coming on the screen, but the controller didn't work. It turns out at the end of the day, this sort of real quick is that I have a really great job of did a great job of the hard part of it, but I screwed up the easy part of it. So it happens. Yeah, and this is if everything was a success, I was pretty irritated about it too. I was irritated for a while, but it's okay. That's why this is fun. Is that if everything was a success right when it happened, it wouldn't be worth doing it. The challenges are what makes the success even better. All right, I want to get. I may get. I think I thought I had one right here. Maybe I didn't. No, I gotta do right there. Okay. All right, now here's what I want to do. I want to make sure that this is ready. I'm gonna put some more flux. By the way, I've already determined that this flux that is called considered no clean, but it is going to absolutely have to be cleaned. That's okay though. I can do it after I'm done. All right, so I'm going to do the hard part, and I want to remove the what did I do with my whoops? Put the solder iron back down. I'm not thought I was prepared, but I am not. I have just all right. Let me do some tool work. I've uh-huh. Oh, there it is. I was like, where'd my tweezers go? All right, that looks good. Of course, now my flux is all dried. No, it isn't. It's still there. Okay. I might use my pliers instead. All right. Removing all right, there we go. We'll come back to that. But let me look at this and make sure. There's a bridge. Clean some soldering off. Yeah, I'm gonna go this way. I really should pull. I am gonna pull you over. Looking at the pins. Okay, guys. I know you're seeing the top of my head. Yeah. Yeah, I got you. I agree with your statement. All right. While I'm here, actually, and thinking about it, now's not a bad time to pull out this and to give maybe a little IPA hit to it. Get my toothbrush out. That might be too much IPA, but whatever. It is what it is. I will say that I think the console is okay. I think the console's in good shape. I think we'll be fine once we get the new. That looks good. All right. All right, good. I think we're done here. So let's bring the camera over and we'll do the same thing where you can see the. I wonder if there's a way that I can swap. I need one where I can show the microscope better. But let's look at the console under the microscope if we can. Yeah, I got to pull the board off, and I don't really want to do that. Well, I guess I can. I don't have it on anything. It's probably not a bad idea to do this for when I put it in. So I'll just take you out. Let me get the. That looks like it might be a bridge. Let me fix that one. But I'm looking at my pins work here. This one might be a bridge right there. Maybe I'll double check that. Is it near a dot? Let me double check. Yeah, it's one right next to the dot. All right. I feel like that's going to need a little bit more solder, but let me just do it. Why not? I'm going to redo my flux right there. Throw me a lid, just a tiny tab of solder. Clean this off. Just put a tiniest dab of solder on. All right. And of course, I've bridged the crap out of it because I did probably too much solder, but okay. Whoop, camera. Camera's in kind of my working spot. I think that's looking a little better. Yeah. Yep, I think it's looking good. Let's take a look. Now let's take a look back under the microscope. So if you see here are my pins. That might be a little bit of a bridge, but beyond that, I think it's looking good. Yep, I think we'll be in good shape for when we're ready for the actual update. Now, that being said, let's take a look and show you what I did wrong. And so don't forget, I snipped some things off. So you have to, here's the 4 points. And right here, let me just focus it a little bit. Right, oh, and you see I tore off that pin. Right here was a resistor that I knocked off. Like I said, this was the easy part, and I screwed up the easy part. So yeah. Anyway, because of that, I have to redo this whole thing. But I will say, the nice part about it, and did I? Wait a minute, something. Let me just check. That's interesting. It looks like right here that I somehow ripped those off. Let me double check those, make sure they're not still stuck on the board or something. But yeah, so that's what I messed up, was this right here. And it looks so terrible under a microscope, but it is in real life. It's hard to overestimate or to tell you how tiny that thing is. I didn't even know it was there until I looked at it closely. So anyway, when we do this next time, I think I might do these 3 soldering points before I do this front end. That's not what the way the instruction says to do this and then do these, but they kind of flop around when it's there, and I'm really concerned about what's up here. So since this does have room to move it, I may do these first. So anyway, let me do a real quick final inspection here using my eyes. Yeah, those pins look great. That looks good. I think everything looks. I don't like the angle. Oh no, that's just the way that it's. Dude, look at it at a different angle. Yeah, I also don't want to mess you up. Yeah, you're fine. All right. All right. Good deal. Good deal, guys. Nope. Let me say. I can't remember. I really need to find a better way to. Is this? Nope, it's not. I'll turn it a little bit. Straighten it up. Again, pro streaming. I know. So, all right. There we are. Turn you off. Go ahead and turn you off. Turning things off and just telling us where we're at. So here's where we're at. This piece right here, this piece that you see in the big thing is I'm getting a new one sent to me, and I pulled it off of there. So when I get the new one, I should be basically ready to go. And it should be relatively straightforward. I think what I'm going to do differently is I'm going to put these two where I screwed up. I'm going to do those first. Pre-tin it so that I can do it like really low down, and pre-tin these wires and just get it done quickly and make sure that everything's okay. So that's what I'm going to do differently next time. But beyond that, I think that pulling this off went relatively smooth. I think that my pins are in good shape. What I'm going to do, before I cancel off, let me just visually, I think they're fine. Let me just do a real quick, do one last check, and this will be the grand finale for today. Is that we will check. Now we don't want to hear any beeps at all. And of course, the first thing I hear is a beep. Let me take a look at this. Make sure is ground. Oh, that may be actually okay. I think that. Oh, okay. Do it up here. I see no bridging. I don't know why those would be grounded together. I was also maybe doing this little slack getting a ground. There we go. This is much better. I'm sure this is a great view of me just looking down at something. All right. Let me double check these first pins. Okay, good deal. That passes. So, all right. Removing my screw up has gone. So, so right now I am in the position where I have failed successfully. So, let me. I will. Like I said, I'll go ahead and end it now. And my next one will be once I get the replacement pin back or replacement ribbon cable back in. So, anyway, I feel like I made a little bit of progress. So feeling good. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye. Actually, I'll probably be streaming playing a game a little bit later. So, but bye.